Hello church, Ryan here. I was raised in a Christian family, but it was only in my 20s that I gave my life to the Lord. After baptism, I quickly got involved in the church, walking through as many open doors as the church would open: Bible college, home group, praise and worship, outreach, children's church, and the youth ministry. Therein lied the rub. Burnout quickly ensued. When the burnout came to a head, my perception at the time was that nobody at the church was particularly interested in what I was experiencing, nor did anyone appear to be prepared to help me. In fact, I sensed that they were very quick to jettison me at the first signs of my struggle. This hurt very much. And so I ran away from them, from the church, and from God. I ran away hard, very hard. I looked for and quickly found fulfillment elsewhere by pursuing pretty much every one of my own desires, both good and evil, wholeheartedly and with the same amount of zeal, if not more, than in my early church life. Highs were certain, but fleeting and unsustainable. And consistent companions during these times included emptiness, loneliness, hopelessness, depression, and a whole host of newly created self-inflicted issues. I stumbled through finding earthly remedies to deal with the darkness. Drink, for one, was great at that, but you needed progressively a lot of it. And once that started, it was a gateway to a black hole into which I was sucked completely. I became an alcoholic, headed directly for rock bottom. Addiction can be a progressive disease. Without treatment, it gets progressively worse, not better. I learned that if I continued down this self-destructive path, I would be faced with at least one of three possible outcomes: hospitalization, prison, or death. I was led into a 12-step treatment program, the first steps of which included recognizing that I couldn't solve this addiction on my own, and that I would need help from a higher power, to use the terminology of the program. This program required submission to this higher power and a daily program of action. I needed this to live. So it did take a few months, but a revelation came to me that this higher power was the living God, the same God, Son, and Spirit that I had come to know in my earlier life. God met me right inside my addictions. That was more than 6 years ago, and I've been sober since, and all glory to God for this. It's certainly not by any willpower of my own, if such a thing even exists, or any other thing that I can manufacture. It is God. I can testify to you today in truth about the goodness of God. Not only has He saved me from hospitalization, prison, and death, and He does this on a daily basis, but He also came down to meet me right where I was. The barrier to reconciliation with Him was not high. I didn't need to travel to a fantastical palace, retreat, or place without sin in the sky. Right down in my despair, darkness, and drunkenness, surrounded by others just as despairing, dark, and drunk as I. That's where Jesus met me. He found me inside of that, and not outside of it. God with us is real, church, even in the darkness. Thank you for listening.